friends, it's great to see you today. I hope your day is off to a good start. We are going to be doing a little shopping my stash today, and I've already done it. I got up here yesterday afternoon and I figured out everything I wanted to use because I do have a certain theme for this look. It's going to be kind of a bronze goddess type of vibe. Not guaranteeing that I'm going to look like a goddess at the end of all this, but that's the goal, okay? That's the vibe. And I've got a mix of drugstore and high-end products, just a lot of things I haven't really picked up in a little while, so I think this is going to be such a fun video. As always, skin is already prepped with serums, with moisturizer and sunscreen, and I'm going to jump into kind of a hydrating, glowy type of base, and this is from Clinique. I love this stuff so much. It's the Moisture Surge Sheer Tint Hydrator SPF 25, and I have it in Universal Light. It is kind of a light coverage product, but it looks really beautiful on the skin. I'm going to get out maybe a little bit less than I might normally use here because I thought I might also mix in just a little bit of this Drunk Elephant Bronzy Anti-Pollution Sunshine Serum. This stuff can be kind of potent. I'm using just a tiny pump of that on top of it. I'm gonna mix them together on my fingertips, and then I'm just gonna dab it around on the skin somewhat evenly, somewhat sloppily. Not to pat myself on the back, but I made some incredible beef stroganoff last night. I make it in the Instant Pot. Some of you guys have maybe heard of the Pressure Luck YouTube channel, and his stroganoff shells are amazing. It might be one of the dishes that I'm like proudest of that I can make. And yeah, I do it in the Instant Pot. And I'll link that recipe below. It is so good. It's really hearty. It seems like kind of a wintertime meal, doesn't it? You got the beef and the shells and the mushrooms and all those yummy flavors. But I made a big batch. I passed off half to mom and dad, half for us, and everybody enjoyed that. So you can see this glow we're getting here. This is super easy to blend in. I mean, this is basically like a tinted moisturizer, and then we just added a little bit more bronziness to it. Next up, I pulled out a loved concealer that I haven't used in quite a while here. This is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer. I think it's so good. It has some coverage, not really as much as like Shape Tape and all things Shape Tape, but you'll see it like really gives a pretty look on the skin, and it goes along with this radiant vibe we're attempting today. I really don't feel like I have much left in that little tube. It kind of reminds me of the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Concealer, which, are they still making that? If you can't find it, get this. So getting that all dabbed in, and you can see it's just kind of glowy, like it's playing right into the glowiness we have all over the skin, just helping us out coverage wise a bit more. And I'm dabbing it in with the same brush I used before, which is from Profusion. Please check out my bite-sized review video about 5 drugstore gems. I did it last week, and I talked more in depth about this little 5-piece Profusion brush set. It's 25 bucks, and it has some amazing face brushes in it. Okay, so we got that on all over. Is there anywhere we would build just a little, maybe? By the way, I'm in the shade Ivory in this stuff. Very thin consistency. If you've got like aging skin, if you feel like most concealers are way too heavy. So I'm just dabbing in a little bit right here, a little extra. Also, in preparation for that beef stroganoff, I did an Aldi Instacart order, and I am so impressed with the amount of different things they have, because I was thinking this was going to be a whole other Walmart order. I needed pool floaties, some fresh new ones for 4th of July. You know, our old ones just kind of like, nah. I had been wanting a splash pad that Bubba could sit on and play with, and Walmart didn't even have that. Aldi did. And then I thought, well, okay, I can get that stuff there, but I'm still going to have to go to Walmart to find a little wreath. I wanted a new little backdoor wreath. And lo and behold, what did Aldi have? Say it with me, folks. The wreath. They had it. It was so cute. It looks like it's one of those little kind of like berries wreaths, but it's red, white, and blue. Oh, it's so cute. I feel super blended, very even, very radiant there. And then I pulled out a powder to set things with that I haven't reached for in forever. It's the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage Powder Foundation, and I'm just gonna use it over my T-zone areas. I don't wanna dock down the glow too much here, but I do want things to last. This is in the shade Buff Beige. So I just know it's gonna be a matte powder, and I can kind of dab it in over these places. And then hit the T-zone and the under eye area. Yep, it is matte, but the shade is such, it's kind of like a color tone thing. I wanted to reach for something that I thought would keep me bright. And this is a pretty light shade. Really hitting those crevices around the nose so we don't have as much chance for product collecting there, you know. Next up, we're going to take a two-pronged approach to the contour and bronzer. I'm going to use my e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette, and then I'm going to go in with like more of a glowy powder bronzer just to hit everything on top, and it's the Believe Beauty Tahitian Sun, so that's a really nice glowy bronzer. In this compact, I'm going to go down to this shade right here. Deep, but a little bit cool. And we're just gonna blend this puppy in around that hairline. If you don't want to spend the money on Huda Tantour, I'm not saying this is 100% just like that product, but it's giving me that vibe. Let's go a little bit more. And same tone, just gonna work it in right in here. And trying not to drop too low with this product. So in this little palette, you have a lighter shade than what I'm using, and then also kind of a deeper one. I guess I'm using like the middle depth level cream contour shade. And then there's this white here that you could really use to play up your contrast. I sometimes forget about that when I'm in my concealer mode, because that might be the best time to pull it in. Okay, there we go. We've got that all blended in, and we're really maintaining a lot of glow now with that layer. And then I'm wanting to use this glowy bronzer fairly liberally all over the skin. Get that on my brush. I think this is going to also enhance the staying power using layering these two steps, as I remember really finding that during the Miss Illinois stuff, like layering the bronzer contour, layering the blush. It really pays off. And the tone on this is a very like kind of medium toned bronzer. Not too light, not too dark. So just kind of going over those very same areas, but then I'm going to lightly just hit the top of everything too, like top of the cheek, go straight across the nose. And then where blush is concerned, you might think, well, pick a bronzy type of blush, right, to just go with the look. But really, I feel like a pinky blush, a really fresh pink, can give off a very sun-kissed look, kind of the way it is in that ABH little trio palette that comes with a beautiful pink. Well, I found this LA Girl Just Blushing blush. This is the pink I'm talking about, like a real bubblegum pink. The shade is called Just Kissed, and this is a matte blush, but we do have some highlight coming up. It's all going to balance out, but I'm going to pop this on, and I think it's going to make you think really like sun-kissed skin. Put it kind of high up here on the cheek, going out. It's very pigmented, so you don't need a lot. Tap off the excess. Oh, love that. Why is blush so much fun? I think it's because there's an ease with blush, okay? There's never really a feeling of struggle as you put the blush on, right? Like, it's just easy. You really get to lay into it and enjoy it. Look at that. Definitely don't ignore your pink blushes this time of year in your bronze goddess looks. Then I'm going to this Essence Pure Nude Sunlighter palette, and all the shades in here, well, it might not be showing fully on camera, but all the shades feel like they have a little bit of a goldeny warmth to them, highlighter-wise. I'm gonna try this one up here. Just pick up a little bit on my Real Techniques setting brush. I wanted definitely to glow in this look, but I didn't really want it to be like a white highlight or like a super light pearly one. I wanted it to have a little bit of warmth. This one is pretty bright still, but it's pretty. I'm being pretty generous with it, as you can see. I might even grab a little bit of this peach. What the heck? Glowing! What do we think? I think the skin looks super radiant. It's right along the lines of the tone I was wanting. I'm going to use my Catrice HD Active Performance Freezing Spray on this. I do have that other Catrice one I bought recently, but I feel like I'm totally at my max on glow, and that one had some extra glow in it. So here's where we're at face-wise. For brows, I'm just going to use this Revlon Color Stay brow pencil in dark brown. It is a retractable, kind of like medium thickness pencil, about like the e.l.f. Instant Lift. And it has a spoolie on the other end. And it's fairly soft. It deposits a good amount of color at once. So you want to do kind of light pressure with this for sure. For days now, I feel like rain has been in our forecast, but for whatever reason, the little pop-up storms kept dodging us until finally yesterday evening we got some. We needed it. Okay, so nothing crazy here with the brows, just our normal vibe. And then to set those, I'm going to use my Gimme Brow today. This is in the shade 5 OG Tinted Brow Gel, giving me some hold. Didn't really need any extra color, but it's okay. Just something I haven't really used in a while, it feels like. Time for the eyes, and I'm using my Maybelline eyeshadow primer. Somebody said in comments like, how about a bronze goddess look instead of all these winter berry looks, Em? Well, here you go. We're using the Huda Nude Medium palette today. I actually have all 3 nude palettes in this line. I like them all. The nude one just spoke to me most on the bronzy level. And I need some coffee, gang. Needed. Grabbing for a crease brush. I think we're gonna go with this sort of dirty peach right here. Speaking of peaches, oh my gosh, we have so many. Southern Illinois, where I live, we've got a lot of orchards, wineries, vineyards, and they opened up for peaches this past weekend, and Mom and Dad went down there and they brought us back so many, and they're getting so juicy and ripe right now. Kids are having them with every meal. They are absolute perfection. Southern Illinois is kind of known for their peaches, and they are really good. Yeah, you don't have to go to Georgia for your peaches. Here's this. Right here, middle, a little bit deeper, kind of dusty rose looking shade. Lovely. Then I'm going to use a flat brush with this really rich color before we have a nice shimmery pop on the lid. So we're dabbing this just right out here on the outer corner, flipping around. Oh, this is going to be pretty. Love working with these rich browns, bronzy neutrals. Flipping that brush, making sure it really gets wedged in there. I find these little 9-color palettes, from whatever brand wants to put them out, I think they're very handy size. You know, it's enough variety to make you feel like, okay, I got some things to work with here, but not so much that you feel a little overwhelmed. I'm just blending out my edge here. There's nothing on this brush. I meant to use this Profusion brush at first, but I forgot. Okay, there's that. There's this really pretty, like, dark terracotta in the corner. I feel like that needs to be part of this look somehow. So it's just gonna go over top of everything in the crease. Whoo! We just turned on the heat with that one. Yes. Now I need to really seriously do some blending here. We don't really have like a light highlight shade in this one, so be aware of that. But most of the time I feel so content just to kind of blend my edge and just let it be. And then while I'm still working with these mattes, I'm going to take my darkest with my Profusion small pointed brush, and we're going to let that travel down here to the lower lash line. And the eyes are looking a little greenish now. It's crazy when Bub wears, like, he has really pure light blue eyes, and the other day he had on gray shirt, gray shorts. I was like, Bub, your eyes look flat out gray, 100%. Don't see any blue in them. They just, chameleon style, went gray. Anybody else with blue eyes like that? We're just going soft with this. That dark shade, letting it be very lightly done. And then, I notice when I'm editing all the times I say then, and then. I hope nobody wants to slap me by now. We're gonna go to this bronze right in here, I think. This kind of copper. Oh, and it's gonna pop. Center of the lid. And then I'm gonna go inward with the shade above it, okay? So beautiful copper stretching from the lash line all the way up to that crease. I'm just using my e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush, which absolutely dominates any shimmery shadow you need to work with. That lid is just glowing. These lids are on fire. Then up to here. Oh my goodness. Just when you thought you'd done it all. Woo! Hello. Thank you for playing today. The bronze goddess has entered the chat. tidbit of fallout there. Nothing we can't handle. Now what's neat about this palette is if we wanted to, we have a couple of kind of rosy options to take that shimmer in as well, but I'm really liking that bronze. That's what we came to do. For eyeliner, I'm wanting this to be kind of like a smoldering look. I'm taking this Milani Stay. What the? Oh my gosh. That scared me to death. The girl's door open. Somebody must be going potty. Oh my gosh. Slightly into what I'm doing here. Slightly focused. Stay Put eyeliner from Milani. Shade is Semi-Sweet. And I'm going to put that in my lower inner rim. So this is just kind of a rich brown liner. I'll lay that down right in here. Gosh, it's a little darker than I thought it might be. I might just go ahead and put that on the upper too. And I'm just dabbing it within the lashes there. And we can smudge that a little. Cue the smudge brush. You ever get that way when you're like so focused on what you're doing and then something distracts you and it could be like nothing. It could be like a little sound and you want to fly off your chair. The main time that happens is if I'm like sitting there editing or it's nap time and things are just relatively quiet everywhere in the house. You think you've got your handle on that quiet mode and then like a package arrives and you get that single like knock knock on the door and you go I gotta say, Bella's so cute. Whenever a package arrives, if she's anywhere in the vicinity, she races to the door to get it so she can shout, "Thank you," to the delivery guy. Okay, see what we're wanting here? Like this really deep and dark. This liner is awesome. It's going on super smooth. It has a little blender tip on the end. So pretty. I thought I was going to need to use like a whole other liner for this step, but this is so rich and brown. You may be coming to play more often, my friend. I'm going to throw on some CoverGirl Supersizer and some Thrive liquid lash extensions. Why do brands like teal so much? Pop the CoverGirl on the upper. Well, they did their business and they're back in their room now. And then I am going to do a false lash with this. I want this to have kind of a glamorous effect. CoverGirl Supersizer, great little mascara for your length and separation. You're going to use the flat side because the wand goes completely flat, okay? And those flat sides carry some product. So you can kind of swipe those over the lashes and then use the comby side, that's the technical term, comby side, to comb it on through. You ever get a really off sense of what day of the week you're on? Like, I was going about my day yesterday feeling like today was going to be Friday. But alas, it's only Thursday. I'm just looking forward to the weekend because I get to see Pup. See what that can do there? It's a really pretty mascara. I'm going to really go there with the lower lash because I know the upper lash is going to be huge. And I'm going to be using my Cocoa Soho lashes, one of my favorite lashes of all time. Super just fluffy and feathery and cute. So I'm going to give the camera a break for that and I'll be right back. Hello, we're back. Got those fluffy lashes on. I am feeling it. And we are moving on to lips now. So here's what I chose. I got out this Just a Tint from ColourPop in the Gimme S'more shade, which was featured in my bundle with them back in March of 2020. That's right, we kicked off the start of a pandemic with a little lip collab. Who knew? So I got that on. That in itself is pretty. But then I pulled out this little baby here. This is from Pat McGrath. It was from a little trio. This is called Dreamscape Mini Opulust Gloss. So this is like glistening goodness. Let's see. Oh. Mamacita. Let's go. I'm just taking that right out to the edge. That smells good too. Smells like vanilla. That's it. Okay, now I'm looking at the rest of the situation here and I'm thinking how I need more bronzer in this zone. You know, now might be the time to go downstairs and put on some of your Nivea essentially enriched body lotion just so the rest of your body is glowing at least a fraction as much as the face. But I'm just taking this from Believe, getting it all down in here. More up in here. Hit the shoulders with it even. This might be also a moment for your Laura Geller baked body frosting and Tahitian sun, but this will do for now. Oh, I love that. So as requested, we've got a bronze goddess look. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you had fun with the Shop My Stash element. It's so grab baggy and like, what's gonna be next? Because it could be anything. I really loved how the base and concealer came together here. Remember, we used that Clinique Moisture Surge, the tinted moisturizer, mixed it with a little liquid bronze, and just got a great foundation for things. That L'Oreal Age Perfect concealer I thought did a beautiful job. We just set it gently and then we really poured on the glow with the rest of the steps, from cream bronzer to regular bronzer. That pinky blush is doing something for me in all this. A pretty prominent highlight as well, and then bringing back a fun little eye palette here where we could have gone more rosy. We kind of put the emphasis on the copper and the bronze there on the lid, and I just think it's awesome. I'm really glad I went dark and kind of on the lower lash line. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Also, if you went day to night, like let's say this was your day, but you wanted to go nighttime, like don't be scared to turn this into a brownish, like deep copper, kind of a rusty lip. I think would also be really beautiful with this. I think it would pair so well with the eyes. So think about that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for requesting the look, and I will see you again very soon. I love you. Have a great weekend. Bye.